So in the early 1900s, Salt Lake was growing, and I mean growing fast. So the city organizers decided that they were going to set aside an area to be a city park, taking the lead from places like Boston, New York City, you know, Central Park. When the pioneers first came to Salt Lake City in the 1840s, they stopped right here. Governor Young, Brigham Young, used it to pull some of the cement that they ended up paving the streets of Salt Lake City with. That all came from what is now Memory Park. When it became a park, the city didn't do anything with it. It wasn't until the 1920s that the Service Star Mothers, later to be known as the Gold Star Mothers, decided to turn it into a park that could actually be used to memorialize their sons that they lost in World War I. They had over 3,000 volunteers. Everybody from the Boy Scouts to the Kiwanis Club wanted to help out. By the time they were done, Memory Park was known as Memory Grove Park. And now we just call it Memory Grove. Let's go inside, take a look. The gate's closed. Let's go over the... I'm not a young man anymore.
Yeah.
We can just walk around if you want.
Yeah, you want to go?
Is there seriously a door? Oh. So one of the first structures you'll see when you walk into Memory Grove is called the Pagoda. It was built after World War I to honor the troops that we lost in the Great War. Started in 1928. It didn't get finished until 1932. That's 16 years after World War I ended. It's actually got the name of every Utah soldier who died in World War I. And it's sobering to look at because there are a lot of names on that list. So right behind me here is the Meditation Chapel, built in 1948 by Ross and Elvira Beeson, whose only son was killed in 1944 when his P-40 Warhawk went down in the sea off the coast of Italy. His body was never found. They decided to put $125,000, that's $1.3 million in today's money, into a chapel where families could celebrate their loved ones that didn't get a proper burial after World War II. So the Meditation Chapel was finished in 1948. Over 10,000 people came to its dedication. Unfortunately, Lieutenant Beeson's mom, Elvira, did not live to see its completion. You can see in the stained glass windows, there's tributes to all of the armed services here. You got the Marines, you got the Army, and you got the Air Force over here, and of course the Navy, right here. Space Force not yet around.
Koenig and Associates etched their name and the date into each of the windows.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's got the 1948 date so that we know that is when it was finished.
So obviously one of the things that you'll notice in Memory Grove is this thing right here, Memorial House, which when the park first was set aside to be a park in the 1890s, this was kind of a warehouse. And when the Gold Star Mothers needed a headquarters, this was it. It was remodeled, cleaned up. Portions of it were added in the 1950s, a few more in the 1970s, and then in the 1980s, they moved out, which the building kind of fell into disrepair. I may have snuck into it in the early 90s. Don't tell my mom. It's now a premier reception hall where you can have weddings, parties, gatherings. So let's go in and take a look on the inside. It's absolutely gorgeous. This is David. He is the executive grand poobah of the Memorial House. What's your title again?
Executive Director. But Grand Poobah works as well.
There you go. So how much of this is original?
Well, all the woodwork in this area is original, and basically all the room features in the main hall, including the chandeliers, are original, which is amazing because people were entering this building, spray painting. Maybe you know a few, maybe you know a few of those people.
Even in Salt Lake, the Vandals have good manners. This looks to be 1930s, 1940s? Do we know when this was?
Probably 1940s.
1940s, and you can see there's this picture here, and then they actually found the same portrait in a warehouse, the history collection, I assume. And this is E.O. Howard. So her husband was the first car dealer in the state of Utah. Honestly, it looks like something that you'd see in the Haunted Mansion at Disneyland. I half expect like lightning to crash as I'm looking at it. When you stand here in this banquet hall and you think about how many weddings, how many first dances, how many first kisses, how many life-changing moments were had right here in this room, it's It's almost humbling from a historical standpoint. So we're up here in the upstairs area of a building that is well over 100 years old. And this is straight up something out of a monster movie. Like, I'm just kind of snooping around unsupervised. It's absolutely gorgeous. Sweetness. Well, here we go. Let's climb through this. Oh, dude. This is crazy. Dude, look at the spider webs. I gotta get in there. I'm not gonna lie, I don't like this at all. Look at the old star down there. There's like old, like Christmas decorations from the 1950s. Do not trap me in here. I swear I will beat you. I will put hands on you. Do not.
This is where the witch ate the kids.
So one of the many urban legends that surround Salt Lake would be the witch that lives above Memory Grove. And this was the altar, and I'm standing on the pentagram. No, none of that is true. Children. So there you go. Memory Grove. My big thanks to David, to Gabby, and to Lindsay for helping us out today. Stop on by Memory Grove, and as always, like it, subscribe to it, and if there's somewhere you would like us to explore on cool stuff in Utah, comment down there, or over there, or over there. Facebook, right? Okay, see ya.